Alright, so I'm going to be wiring this ceiling fan up correctly. Didn't pass rental inspection because I had too many extension cords. I had to get rid of them. So you got this one wrapped around. So I'm going to put an outlet on that wall for this workbench. As far as the ceiling fan, I got a junction box up there. I got the main wires already attached, so you can see already in there. I got the clamps installed. I'm going to run 1422 with ground. I'll run along that beam down into the controller to eliminate those two extension cords. I'm still going to leave it plugged in with that cord into the outlet. They'll have to do maintenance on the machine. That's I can unplug instead of just using the switch. And then what if the switch breaks? You know, how am I supposed to turn the power off other than killing the power to the garage? So I don't know if he was also bitching about this, but how I got this cord running here to the shop light. It's not an extension cord. This is the only outlet that I have that's controlled by the light switch. So if he's got a problem with that, then I'm gonna tell him to then put an outlet on this beam that's controlled by that light switch. Otherwise, kiss my ass. And if he doesn't then he still bitches about how the ceiling fan's wired, then I'll say, do it your damn self, because you know, what do you want me to do? I ran it correctly, not using an extension cord, hardwired in. And I eliminated this extension cord. So if he still complains, I say, well, do it your damn self, because what do you want me to do at this point? So let me get the wire ran, and then we'll go from there. All right, got it somewhat installed now. It's all wire nutted up in there, as you can see. Use blue electrical tape to mark one of the wires. It says 1422 with ground, so you got 5 wires total. You got a black, you got a red, you got a white. You got a white with a red stripe, and you got a ground. So the red with the white stripe, I use some blue electrical tape to mark it blue. That way I know what it is in the box over there, so it's color coded. I'm just stapling it along right now. Obviously I'll re-secure this wire here in a little bit. Try to dangle it so I can secure it. He doesn't run his mouth about that. If he's talking about these 3 wires, that ain't my problem. Now you want that gone, they gotta do that themselves. Why should I have to rewire the garage? So we had a rental inspection with the handyman came out first just to fix any minor things before the inspectors got here. Then the actual city inspectors came out. And they're the ones kind of complaining about the extension. Well, the city inspector said something about it. And the handyman was like, told my mom to tell me that I have to take the extension cords down. So again, if he's talking about that also, you know, it's an adapter that screws into there to power both my shop lights, then he's going to need to install an outlet on there. So I'm going to put one over there just so I can have power for my shop workbench. I can eliminate that cord that's wrapped around. But if he wants me to eliminate this, then he has to do it himself. So anyway, I'll finish stapling this, then we can start wiring it up in there. Alright, wires ran over there. Here it is over here. So you got 5 conductors. You got the bare copper for ground, solid red, solid white, solid black, and then you got a white with a red stripe. That one I'll mark blue. I marked this black wire red because it's, according to the wiring diagram, it assumes you have a red wire coming in for power. Everything else is the same. Everything else is the same over here. I just got to mark this white with the red stripe blue, and that'll allow me to wire everything up for the diagram, which I still have. This way you don't throw nothing out. And we will rewire this thing up, and hopefully it passes inspection next time around. So let's go ahead and make the connections in here. Alright, it's all wired in. I said the wire's secure. Before I put this cover back on, make sure it's wired correctly. Should be. Speed set to medium, set to forward. See what happens if it trips the GFCI or the fuse. It's rotating. Side Jordan, I'm leaving the lights on. Put up the high. All the way to low. There. Happy, Jordan, you? Now you really can't see much, can you? Alright, turn it off. I'll let it come to a stop and then we'll try reverse. Alright. Switch it to reverse. And if nothing goes wrong, it's wired correctly, it should start. Yep. Alright, so it works. I'll go ahead and mount this cover back on. Mount the cover plate to the junction box, and then let's do one quick run up. Alright, cover's on that. Like I said, everything is secure. This is back on. Someone commented in my last video, why didn't you put the cover back on? Why'd you just leave it dangling? Because I was still testing it. I'll set this back to forward. Put you on medium. And if nothing's shorted out when I put the cover back on, it should start right up. Let's see if I get a shot. And it's just starting right up. To get the plug in correctly. Alright, so forward works. Let's try reverse. Alright, switch is set to reverse. Yep. Everything's intact. That's enough. So it works. So it's wired correctly, nice and neat, actual correct wire, 1422. I couldn't find wire that had like a blue conductor. There's either like a white with a red stripe or we had orange. I was thinking of using like a 16.5 or 16.6 SOO, yeah, 16.5 SOOW cable, but that's made for power cords and like power drops, so that wasn't going to fly. So I found some 1422 and ordered 50 feet of that. United Copper Industries. So it's NMB wire. So that's running along there into that junction box. So this is now wired correctly and hopefully up to code.